Hey guys, it is J.Belle with Girl Talk with J.Belle. I need to get my words out. It is a Sunday. I got some bonus episodes for this podcast because I had to talk to one of my good friends who is a radio personality out of Dallas, Lil D. She has 15 years in the game. And when I say she has one hell of a journey, she definitely has a journey. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, girl?
I'm doing good. I see you working on a Sunday. You got to get that grind in, right?
Yeah, sure.
The shade.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
You just don't like working on Sundays? Is that what it is?
It's my off day. I mean, it was.
But here we are.
Yeah, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Well, thank you for doing this. I know you are a very, very busy person. I want to first ask, how are you doing during this whole crazy pandemic? How has things changed for you from what it was 7 months ago?
Man, well, I'm at work on a Sunday. It sucks as far as work, as far as interaction, because we furloughed every part-time employee. So it's literally like 5 jocks, wow. And that's it. And I can't I'm on salary. What I'm complaining for? You know, it's jocks who haven't been on air since March, who haven't been able to walk in this building in months, and that has to suck. As far as me, I'm cool because I'm an introvert anyway, and I love being by myself. So don't get it twisted. I'm loud, I'm ghetto, I be helping people, but I love sitting at home in my drawers, eating some Funyuns, watching Netflix. I can be by myself for like 4 or 5 days and be like, life is so amazing. So like, I'm cool. I miss my friends a little. I did lose a lot of money as far as like hosting gigs and things I had lined up, but I'm straight.
Cool, just chilling. All right, so let's just dive into things. Obviously, radio has definitely changed a lot, but we're here to talk about your story. So let's dive into your background first, how you got started, you know, where you come from originally and how you got to where you are now.
So I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana. I started doing radio there when I was 19. I wanted to be a rapper, and so the night jock at the radio station would have freestyle contests. I called in every Friday, and I won like 9 weeks straight because, you know, bars. And he would keep in touch with me when it was time to he would call me when it was time to rap or whatever, and he just kind of like would check on me, like how's school going and whatever, on some like big brother type stuff. And when I got to college, he was like, hey, you want to be on my show? And I was like, I guess. And so I was the night show co-host for free for about 8 months. I was terrible. People started rumors that I must have been sleeping with him to get the job because I was so bad. Like, I was really bad. Oh, that's wow. Me. I was really bad. I learned on the job for real. Oh, wow. I'm talking, I showed up and he was like, all right, so here goes some headphones. You're going to talk in that mic. And that was my training.
Oh, wow.
Everything I learned by trial and error, getting cussed out when I messed up, people making fun. Like, I developed that thick skin because I got my feelings hurt so much. Mm-hmm. I left Shreveport, I went to Ohio. I was a night jock in Toledo, got fired, was part-time in Cleveland, was the night jock in Columbus, and in 2018, I got back to Dallas to do middays.
Wow. Well, first of all, I want to hear some bars. I want to hear some bars. You the rap goddess. Listen, Lil D be rapping, and I see it, and so I want to hear some bars. Everybody want to hear bars.
Lil D, they said they want you to rap.
Can you give us an 8 count, though?
Like right now?
Yes.
Y'all swear I'm a rapper, bro.
No, you be swearing you a rapper, bro.
I can rap. I'm not a rapper.
Well, can you rap for us?
All right, fine. So I just did a rap for an audition for a TV show. They wanted you to perform a verse. So I'll do that one real quick, I guess, since you asking me to, and I ain't got a choice because you're not going to get off of it until I do it. All right. I don't remember how you rap and start out. You're like, yo, head ass. I'm spinning the Bye. That's what you texting. Now tell me how that old rich nigga like his breakfast. Me better than you? That's not a question. Because the last time I needed dick to live, my mama got pregnant. Daddy gave me all that he was blessed with. Like if a nigga don't treat you like I treat your mama, find the exit. I'm hearing intelligence is sexy, but I don't know. This chick's out here giving big brain for Alexis. Alexis. Now start your engine. And I'm winning while you grinning, and it's only the beginning. And my pockets is fluffy like some linen. The difference is you never paid dues, so you out of here like tenants. And I'm just trying to kick you with my homies. It's still fuck police. I like a dab of ranch with my rollie. You really want this life? You gotta show me. Cause me, I did it in a day. 8 them 24 like Kobe. R.I.P. Niggas ain't catch that 8 them 24 like Kobe line though. Like 8 them 24. Wait. He was number 8 and number 24. But I'm also saying I did all of it in a day.
I think I just got, wait, let's pull you back in. This is what I deal with on a daily basis, people.
You don't understand. I said I did it in a day. 8 them 24 like Kobe.
You know, some people are slow these days, okay?
Stop playing with me. 8 them 24 like Kobe.
Come on. Focus.
After Kobe died, if Kobe was going and something I wrote, period, I didn't care how I put it in there, it was happening. Anyway, but yeah, so that's how I got in the radio.
Okay, all right. So then I want to ask you, how has your background influenced your radio career?
Background as far as what?
You know, you said you're a rapper, and then you're from the South, essentially. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of like stayed in that area stuff when you went to Ohio. So how do you use that to relate to your listeners?
It's a lot easier. You know what? It's turning lemons into lemonade. Growing up in the South, if you weren't light skinned with long hair, you weren't pretty. I am dark skinned and I got 4C hair underneath these braids. And so I've always grown up being the ugly girl, the ugly friend, or the hey, what's up with your homegirl friend. And when I got to Ohio, it was worse. It was way worse. And it was 10 years of it being worse. And with rapping, the only time I was ever like comfortable and introverted and talk to people at all was when I was on stage. If I wasn't rapping, I'm over here in the corner. Please don't notice me. Oh my God. And so I took both of those things and put them together. With rapping, it helped me become a star. But with people constantly telling you how ugly you are and how black you are, like that's bad, I used it to take my confidence and show these other little girls, like, there's nothing wrong with you. You're beautiful, period. Don't let anybody put those dumbass stereotypes on you. So I went through a whole lot of low self-esteem and just depression, anxiety, and it was, I'm on the radio. People are going to the radio station's Instagram page just to call me ugly. Like, come on, bro, really? Like, you tagging me. Like, you want to make sure I see you call me ugly. Like, for what? But either way, because I grew up the same way, it low-key didn't bother me any more than it already had bothered me. Like, how many times can you call me ugly? Like, I'm not uglier. Like, how many times can you call me dark? This is the darkest I'm gonna get, bro. Like, I'm already dark. Okay, cool. And so once I built my confidence, I was really able to take all those experiences, and I still see girls going through it, and I'm able to give them some kind of love and show them, like, you looking at me like I'm just oh so pretty, but so are you, bro. Because the same way these dumbass little kids are talking to you, they talk to me. And look at me. So this will be you.
Wow. I know we talked about this a little bit, like one-on-one privately, but I never knew it was that bad, you know. And I'm light as hell. Like, I mean, obviously I'm black, I'm light, but I also have 4C under these braids. I don't have no long, pretty hair and things like that. So, like, hearing those kind of things, it kind of just makes me angry. Because it's just like, well, how can people be so mean and be so rude? And so then my next question to you is, how is it being a woman, especially a Black woman, in this industry? You work for a huge urban company, which unless you want to say, I'm not going to say, you know, how is it any different than working for a white company?
I haven't noticed a difference at all. Maybe it was different before Radio 1 went public and it was just owned by like Kathy Hughes and ran by Black people. But as far as now, every company I work for is the same. You Black, so you probably getting paid less at your station. you're a woman, so nobody takes you seriously and don't let you have like an opinion. Oh, you must be on your period. You got bad attitude. And then you're a black woman. So now you're an angry black woman with an attitude because you're not getting paid. I haven't seen a difference at all. I tell you what it is being a woman in the industry. It depends on what stage of womanhood you're in. If you still out here giving hand jobs to get on, you're probably fine. I don't know how you look in the mirror when you get home, but you probably got a job. You probably getting appearances, so you straight. If you're a woman who's hustling, you busting your ass, but you're not confident in yourself yet, you probably getting overlooked. You probably getting skipped over opportunities that you feel should be yours. Now, when you're a black woman and you're talented, you didn't give one hand job to get on, and you know who you are, and you walk in and you act like it, they probably call you a bitch behind your back, but they're gonna come off that check. I'd rather be a bitch you respect than a bitch you don't hear. And I'll be that bitch you respect. It takes you, I think it takes longer when you don't have that gimmick, I'll call it, like you ain't sucking dick, giving no hand jobs. It'll probably take you longer to get here, but when you get here and you walk in yourself and you know exactly who you are, what you're gonna take and what you bring to the table, I ain't been disrespected since I've been to Dallas.
Wow. And from what I see on your page, a lot of people actually, like, they really love you. They like,
I know. I'd be like,
they
oh,
F with you. And it's crazy because I actually found you when I started working for that same company. And I think you were at Columbus at the time. And I started following your moves and I saw what you were doing. And then once I started when I started hooking up with our mutual friend, Nia Noel, who was an OE like I am, she was telling me about your journey. She was telling me how you hustle when it comes to the digital game, when you do your voice tracks, blogging. So then, my question is, how do you maintain all this along with doing a full-time show? Because these days, program directors want you to be basically a one and done shop, jack of all, well, a Jane in your case, of all trades, and do a great show. Break that down for us.
I meditate. The first thing I do when I wake up, before I grab my phone or have any thought, I meditate and I set my day. Even if it's 3 minutes, 5 minutes, I make sure that I just calm myself, get all those thoughts out. Let's not cloud our minds yet. Today's going to be a good day. This is what you have to do. We're going to get it done. Shit going to be straight. Then I hit the blunt. So by the time I start working, I'm very calm, relaxed, and know what I need to do. I don't let myself get overwhelmed. I know that I have an air shift from this time to that time. During this shift, I know that I'm going to post this many stories. When I get off work, I know I got this to do. And so this is country, but my favorite saying is you can eat an elephant one bite at a time. You don't got to sit the whole damn elephant in front of your plate, but start with his feet. Okay, cool. Now tomorrow, I'm going to tackle the tusk. The day after that, let's do this. So I wake up at 5 a.m, go to the gym, work out, come home, take a shower, get ready to go to work, do my shift. It seems like a lot, and it is, but I'm organized. As forgetful as I am, as bad as my memory is, I'm very organized. Everything that needs to be done, I write it down. Wow. And so I don't choose. But I love everything I do. As far as radio, I have to do a shift. I got to post these stories, put something on Instagram, be Lil D. Cool. But as far as everything else, the stuff that I do for myself, like I'm working on my book because I'm a writer and I love writing. So nobody has to tell me, hey, you need to work on your book, bro. I'm just working on it. The things I do for these kids, I miss a lot of sleep, but I love it, so I don't care. I'll sleep when I'm done. So I don't really be overwhelmed at all. I just do what I need to do because I love doing it.
Well, let's talk about your book. You released your book, I want to say last year, correct?
In 10/19.
Yes, 10/19. Is that, now I might be wrong, but that date is significant to you. Can you break down why that date is so significant to you first?
October 10th was the day I signed my lease in Cleveland. The book ends with me moving into my apartment in Cleveland. The October 10th marked the end of me being homeless. And so it's one of the most important days in my life.
And how long did it take you to write this book?
A year. I started it in Columbus, December 2017, and I ended it. And I ended it like this. I swear to God, I did this on purpose so that I could tell the story and be telling the truth. I was sitting on my balcony in my apartment in Dallas, and I wrote the last words of the book in December. It was freezing, but I was like, I don't want to lie. Somebody going to ask me, how was it writing the book? You got to tell the truth. So anyway, I finished it December 2018 on the balcony in Dallas in my apartment, looking at the sky with my MacBook on my lap. And house because it was freezing.
I believe it. You live in North Texas. I mean,
I was so dumb. But I mean, it was cute. While it lasted, I think it was like 44 degrees. I had on like a hoodie and a blanket. But either way, yeah. So it took a year. It was hard. I moved here because I was so happy. And the book is, I mean, there's some little happy parts in it, but for the most part, that book is, I went through it. And here I am in this new environment, like, oh my God, life is so amazing. Oh, let me go back to writing about when life sucked. So it was harder to write. It was way easier to write in Columbus because I was depressed.
You was in the midst of it, and then you get to a different place, and you have to take those emotions and put it down on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And your journey has not been easy. I mean, like you said, you were homeless for a long time. You really made sacrifices. And for those that may not know your story, you know, you don't have to tell everything. We want people to read the book, you know. So kind of break down that part of your story. After you left Shreveport, what happened?
I got to Toledo. I was doing nights. I got fired like a year and a half in. And, you know, you first get fired, you like, all right, I'll get another job because my homeboy know the PD at such and such. Then none of that happened. I was unemployed for a year and 10 months. Wow. I wound up getting a part-time job in Cleveland, which is 2 hours from Toledo. And so I'm only on air one day a week, Saturdays from 9 to noon. And I mean, I hustled just to get that little shift. Like I sent 72 program directors a video air check and one hit me back. And it was a guy who ran Cleveland. And I sent that man something every week until he asked me to come audition. Wasn't nothing open. He just made it open. Okay, so I was the online editor's assistant during the week. And so I was getting like 20 hours a week, like $13 an hour. I couldn't pay nobody's bills. So I got evicted. And so now it's like, all right, do I go back to Shreveport, 16 hours away, and just kind of figure it out? Or do I stay up here? And I stayed because in my mind, it wasn't even a choice. It was, all right, what am I finna do? How am I finna live? Because I ain't going back home. What, I'm gonna quit my radio job that I just bust my ass to get, even though it's one little shift, like I'm supposed to just stop. So I put all my stuff in storage and I moved into a motel. Not like Holiday Inn or the Best Western, but a motel. One of the motels that say motel across the front. Like truck stop motel. It was nasty. The air halfway worked. It was May when I got in there. I was there until October. It was nasty. I didn't have food sometimes. People don't understand, being homeless is really expensive. The motel by itself was $168.19 every Friday. Wow. That's damn near $100. That's rent. But you can't save up for rent because you're paying this every Friday. Yeah. You ain't got no stove. You can't cook. So every single meal is something you got to buy. Then I'm driving to Cleveland every Saturday to do my shift. So I had two jobs. The other job made $10 an hour. That check will pay the motel, and I'd have like $17 left. I got paid from radio twice a month. So on them off weeks when I don't have a radio check, it could be Wednesday, and I know I'm not going to eat till Friday. I got a loaf of bread, peanut butter, and jelly, and that's all I got all Wednesday. And then Thursday, I'm just going to be hungry. And that lasted for like 3 months. But so the book talks about the day I moved out of my house in Toledo to the day I moved to my apartment in Cleveland. And it's not just, hey, read this book about how I was homeless and life was just horrible. It's more, this is what happened to me when I was 12. So this is why I made this decision at 22. This is what happened to me at 17. So now you can understand what happened when I was 25 and why I did this. And it's to help you understand the mentality of somebody who would bet on themselves in this kind of situation and say, you know what, something's got to be better than this. Why would she choose to stay in this dirty, nasty, smelly ass motel, when she could just go home and be comfortable? And it's really just about how far are you willing to really go for your dreams. I stayed in a motel. You goddamn right I deserve to be here. Like, I slept in my car when I couldn't afford that motel in July with the windows cracked. It's never more quiet than it is when you at a rest stop in your car at 3 a.m. knowing that this is where you're going to sleep. Like, I was there. So, yeah, I wound up getting more hours at the station. in Cleveland and wound up getting a little apartment. It was the size of like my living room and dining room now. I ain't give a fuck. I had a stove. Like, I could cook. I had a real refrigerator that actually worked and I could put food in. What? I only have to pay once a month to stay here? And so me and that little studio apartment rocked for 3.5 years. And I had people over. You could, like, I wasn't embarrassed about it. I didn't care. I had somewhere to live. The main point of my book is for people to realize that happiness comes from within. It has nothing to do with your surroundings, which is why I ended it in that apartment. Because when I got to Columbus, I had a much better apartment. I live in Dallas now. I have a much better apartment. But that ain't the point of the book.
Right.
The book is to realize that the happiest point in my life right then was moving into that little bitty ass apartment.
All the sacrifices that you made in your journey became worth it because you were able to not only like find a place to live, but you were able to grow within that. You're doing something, or you did something that a lot of people will not do, which is make huge sacrifices in order to live your dreams. You know, and when you see stuff like that, it's kind of scary because, you know, it's like, do I do this? Or personally, like for me, when I lived in Vegas, I was at my wit's end. So I moved back home. I felt bad about it. You know what I'm saying? But it was something that I had to do for myself to start over. So hearing your story, I'm like, damn.
I don't suggest take my route if they don't have to. Like,
people don't realize.
I wasn't on the corner with a sign, but
right.
Sleep.
Right, but I don't think people realize that when you make sacrifices, like you're making a sacrifice to live your dream. Now, let's not get it twisted. You know, depending on where you go when it comes to radio or news, you're not getting paid a lot of money, period.
No.
So every time that you move and you are proving you're doing a track record that is proven to be successful, you're able to earn these things, and you've earned your way is my point, is what I'm trying to say, is that you earned your way to where you are. Like you said, you belong there because you have. Not only have you, you know, yeah, you were homeless, but in that whole situation, that testimony, you worked hard. You did what you needed to do. You proved to these people, like, yeah, I'm sleeping out in the streets, but here I am doing my job as I'm supposed to do. I'm not letting those things affect me.
And they never knew.
Right. And so now that you're at a certain place where you're a lot more comfortable where you are, you've also started a nonprofit within this. You go, girl.
I did. I started it in Cleveland. Shout out to Sam Silk, who is the sole reason I started it. Everybody in Cleveland had like a thing that they were doing. You know, she works with breast cancer survivors and she does that. And I'm like, I want a thing. What do I care about? All I really care about is like helping kids. And I was talking to the Midday jock on the Urban AC station, and I'm telling him like, man, I'm part-time. Nobody know me. Like, I'm broke. Like, what am I supposed to do? And he was like, why are you defeating yourself before you ever start? I'll never forget that. That day I went home and started writing down what became You Go Girl. And the first event I did was a networking event with women, and it was just so many different careers. And I really, honestly, I couldn't believe people came. I'm like, y'all actually like know me and follow me on Instagram. Y'all came to my event. Shut up. Like, for real, it's really people here. This is like, it's a lot of people. Like, what? But because I met all these people with these different careers, I was able to do 12 Days of Christmas, which is my favorite. I picked 12 girls and I matched them with 12 women in their desired career fields. They spend a day with them doing the job. And that's the most important thing that I do with my organization. I think so. Is to take a little girl who says, I have a dream to be a oral surgeon, but I mean, I don't know. I'm from the hood. Don't nobody do that. Oh, okay. Well, here's this Black woman who's an oral surgeon who you can go talk to and work with her. And now we're going to film it so you can always go to YouTube and watch it again and remember that it's not a dream, it's a goal. The first one I did was 2014, and those kids are in college now. One little girl wanted to be a medical examiner. She's in her senior year of college. She's going to be a medical examiner. Like, she got to go to the morgue. It was disgusting, but it was great. Like, it really smelled like dead people in it. But it was great. Like, we got to see, like, the jars with the brains in them, all kind of disgusting stuff. But, you know, that's what she wanted to do. Right. And she got to see, I can be a medical examiner because there's a whole other woman right here who's doing it. Huh. But yeah, so the acronym, the girl is an acronym for grinding in real life. a lot of people are fake busy on the internet and, you know, it look good. But nah, we grind for real over here. And so I just want these little girls to know you literally can do what you want to do. Let me show you somebody else who already is. So now tell me again how you can't do it. Oh,
you show them, you put it in their face. I really wish something like this was happening when I was growing up, because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
me either.
And so you have to make the change. You making the change. You making your own seat at the table. You making sure these little girls have their seat at the table or create their own seat at the table. And so how
radio though?
You said what?
Don't none of them ever want to do radio, but it's cool.
Well, you know what? You know what though? I can understand why. Radio's a really hard game to be in. You said what?
I don't know that yet.
Well, you know, they get in there.
First, I want to be a model. I want to be a dentist. Who want to do radio? Somebody can shadow me, dang, like.
Well, we're going to make sure we put this out there so we can get somebody to shadow you. I'll shadow you. I'm grown.
Yeah, 11 to 17. Sorry.
Damn it.
That's Fort Worth area only. Sorry.
Listen here. So, sound too old? Dang.
Yeah.
I'm 17 now.
You're not.
Okay. I shadow you anyway. It don't matter. I might not be in the studio, but we have our own conversations.
Okay.
So that's shadowing too. So what's the preparation behind you creating 12 Days of Christmas? Like when you're starting this, beginning to end. And how are you going to pivot? Because obviously with COVID, you can't do things one-on-one, face-to-face right now.
12 Days of Christmas is the most stressful period of each year of my life. Submissions run from October 15th to November 15th. I don't know what professionals I need to find until I pick the winners. Oh. When I pick the winners, sometimes they don't answer when you first call, or their parents will be like, oh, she didn't tell me about this, she can't do this, or whatever. So now I got to find alternates, and hopefully I can find the career. So November 15th, boom, I pick my 12 and I pick 5 alternates. Just through years of doing it, I've learned from experience. Contact the professionals first. Hey, I have a little girl who potentially wants to do such and such. If I can get in touch with her mom, blah, 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 would you be willing to let her shadow you? Then you got to deal with, oh, this sounds amazing, but let me just check with my boss and make sure you can film. Cool. Don't hear from her for 3 days. So I can't call the kid and say you won yet, because I don't want her to say, hey, we can't do it. So after about 2 weeks of not sleeping, trying to find every professional, and I mean, a lot of it is just, who do you know? Do you know a nurse? Do you know, oh, my homegirl does this? And just a lot of that to find these professionals. Once I get all of that taken care of, that takes like 2 weeks to just find the professionals, call the parent, make sure the parent knows the kid is cool with doing it, the boss can do it. Then we got to start scheduling. Mind you, I have a whole job. And so she might be able to do, one little girl wants to be a teacher. We had to get to the school. I'm talking be there at 7 a.m. School is 45 minutes away from my house. And I got to go to work after that. So boom, I schedule you. We go at 7. I film it. I got to go because I got a whole job to get to. Okay, bye. I get to work. I got another one at 3:45. I'm off at 3. I got to change clothes. Can't wear the same thing I filmed in this morning. I've been up since 4 a.m. So now let's do the next one. I film it myself, edit the videos, all of that. And so it's extremely hectic. I might have 2 or 3 filmings in one day, just trying to get through those 12. Then I got to edit all the videos. I have a job to do. And I do a feature in my show every day that I have to write every day. And it has to be funny every day. And so when I say it's stressful, I'm not stressed like, but I'm stressed like I'm really, really, really tired. You'll always have, every year, it's that one kid, whether it's either the kid or the parent, who just canceled. Or it's always that one professional. I've had professionals, it'll be the morning of, oh my God, girl, I woke up sick. I'm so.
Really? Wow.
So now I got to tell this little kid, I don't want to tell this little kid this, so let me just pause everything and find another woman who's doing something, because there's no way I'm going to tell this little kid, hey, you won, but never mind.
Yeah.
So it's a lot, but it's all, every single year I don't sleep. I be stressed. I cry at least once. And And then they have their president Pamper Party where they get their hair and nails done, they get presents, we have food and music and the games, and it's really, really fun. And the hair and nail salon I use is amazing. She decorates it herself, and like she has a whole interior decorating business like on the side. So I never worry about the decorations. All the gifts are donated, and they get good stuff like perfume and bracelets and hair stuff and clothes. It'd be bomb. And so by the time it's over and the kids see their gifts and they look at their hair and their nails, they're ready to go back to school and they're all like, oh my God, I'm so beautiful. And their parents cry. It'd be worth it. It'd be worth it. As far as this year, I was thinking about doing a virtual one, but that defeats the purpose. Like the purpose is you get to go up here and like do the job. And so it's either going to be virtual or I'm going to have to cancel. And that's going to hurt my heart. I've been doing this since 2014.
Yeah. Well, let's hope you don't have to cancel. Maybe just have to mask, double mask if need to, or virtual, like you said. Yeah. But it's very inspiring to see stuff like this because not many young women are getting these chances, especially if they're coming from disenfranchised neighborhoods, poor neighborhoods. You know, they might not have their parents around, that sort of thing. So I do commend you for that. And as I'm getting ready to close out, because I personally have to go back to work now. I know you at work. She at work, guys. Okay. So as we close out, what are some of the inspiring words that you would tell your younger self?
Have enough self-esteem to be yourself.
Oh, you got it on your shirt?
Always. Everything they hate about you, they're going to love about you in 15 years. The more you love yourself, the more other people will love you. The more you love yourself, the less you will care about who else loves you. And simply, it gets better.
Those are simple words. And I also want to ask you before we close out, where do you see radio or media, period, within the next 5 years for women?
For women.
Black women especially.
I mean, I'm going to have a syndicated morning show. I don't know what these other chicks going to be doing.
You know what?
I hope that with everything going on, as far as Black people finally standing up, putting their foot down and keeping their foot on their necks, I hope that it goes in the positive direction of taking women, not even taking women more seriously, but women taking themselves more seriously and understanding that you ain't got to be a bikini model to do radio. Like, if you think you look good, do, by all means, because I love being naked. But I just want women to realize that their talent actually matters. The more we treat our talent like it's secondary to how fine we are, the more men are going to treat us that way. And so all say, hey, hold on, I have something to say, not just some little bitty clothes to wear. The more they're going to have to listen. Right. So I hope in the next 5 years, women continue to stop acting like the city girls on the radio and actually just do their jobs and be good at it. And show these men that I got something to say too. We can have more women host radio shows. We can have more women host morning shows, more syndicated women, and more women on the news who do more than just the weather. Can I be an anchor? I just hope we continue to put our foot down, make a stand, and show that we belong here. Like, I can't be the only fine-ass woke woman who knows she belongs here.
This is what I deal with on a regular basis, guys.
Like, I mean,
you don't let you know she's fine because she is fine.
And it's like, I'm fine as hell, but I'm also talented. I'm real talented. Like, I dare somebody to come on this radio and out-talent me.
Listen, I don't think anybody's trying to do that because you got it. But it's so...
But like, every woman to experience that and do that and show these men, like, yeah, I can do this little photo shoot with this little crop top, whatever, but don't ever get it twisted, because these numbers don't lie, and I have something to say, and you're gonna respect that. So give me my morning show, Lil D for Mornings 2022.
There we go. She's campaigning right now. I'm for it. I'll be a co-host or something. I'll be on it. We'll work it out.
Come on, listen. You do.
Well, let the people know where they can follow you at, where they can buy some merchandise, because that is on your site, the shirt that you got on. So break it down for us.
In my website, everything is at grindinginreallife.com. My book is on there. All the merch is on there. My stories on there. My air check consultation business. A little bit of my story. Client feedback. And all the events I do, 12 Days of Christmas. Everything with my nonprofit. It's all at grindinginreallife.com.
And you have another book coming out soon too, right? You're in the midst of writing a new book?
I'm working right now. Route 2, Part 2. My plan to prostitute. When I was 14, I had a whole plan. I had a pimp, like it was a thing. Had my bags packed, and I'm paralleling the story of me becoming a prostitute to my 3 years in Cleveland, and it's about cycles and how until you recognize and break the cycles, you can't move forward.
Gotcha. Oh, that's definitely gonna be interesting. Yeah, and then you and you just recorded the audiobook for your first book, so we're waiting to hear back on that, right?
I recorded it like 3 months ago, but it got denied and rejected. But this time, I think this is the time. We only have one more error to fix. And so I submitted Friday. So hopefully by the time this episode come out, we're going to be like, audio book out now. You know what I'm saying?
Millie rock with it. Millie rock with it.
I can't dance, but
we're going to teach you some rhythm. At least one thing I can do is teach you how to dance.
I would appreciate it. It's stressful.
No, it's not. All you need is a little two-step. Well, Lil D, thank you so much for being a part of my podcast. I do appreciate you, friend. Make sure you guys are following her online. Her social media presence is just as real as her real presence. She is someone to bless you with some words of wisdom. Your air checks, if you're in radio, if you're in media, she's always there for you. So I enjoyed this as usual because you just make it so easy. And you didn't even curse like that.
I be trying, I was like, let me censor myself a little bit because people gonna think I'm ghetto. I am ghetto.
You ain't ghetto. You just yourself.
Yay.
You so funny. Hold on one second. Bye, guys.